Welcome to episode 56. I'm your host, Nikkei Lamodi, and today we're going to be talking about when you just don't believe that you can break free from being behind in an area of your life. It's just really real as late bloomers that it can be so easy to be discouraged before you even try, before you download the dating app so you can put yourself out there, or before you apply for a new job when you just haven't even been in the job market for a couple of years. Or maybe before you start trying to establish a savings account when you've never even saved a day in your life. You can really start to ask yourself, can I really do this? Is it too late for me? And what if it doesn't work out the way that I want it to? These are all valid questions, and this disbelief that, okay, I don't think this can happen or it might be too late for me can really lead you to just stay stuck and not take any action at all. And I remember feeling this way when I wanted out of healthcare. I knew I wasn't happy, but I just wasn't sure what to do. And I knew that pivoting industries felt so big, overwhelming, and it just truly felt insane when I would look up and see what my peers or friends were doing in their careers. But I remember reminding myself about how I navigated my PTA school journey through the stress, the financial challenges that came up, my car dying on me before starting clinical rotations, and everything else in between. And so today I want to share a prompt with you that you can ask yourself, journal through when you just don't have the belief that you truly can pivot or break free from being behind in an area of your life. So when you know you want to break free from a certain area, whether it's your health, your finances, a career change, but you don't believe that it's possible for you. And for everybody, it will be different. Maybe it may be based on a past experience. Maybe it's based on things you believe about yourself that you just struggle with in an insecurity. Maybe it's something that someone said to you, whether it was a friend or a family member, whether it was intentional or unintentional, but you just don't have this strong belief for yourself that it can happen for you. This is a prompt I want you to write, journal through, you can verbally process through to help you start to grow your belief that you can make progress in an area of your life that you feel behind in. I want you to recall a time when you achieved something that you didn't think you could. How did you do it? And was it something you achieved at a job? Or maybe it was a project, a paper, or a final in a graduate level program in your undergrad journey. And I'll use myself as an example for this prompt. It would be me passing my board exam for my license. Like, I did not think that was going to happen and that I was going to achieve that. First, I had a financial obstacle. I didn't know how I was going to pay for it. I don't know why they think students have all this money to pay for these board exams. But then it was also, am I smart enough? My cohort, I had way more smarter people in my cohort than me. So am I actually going to pass? Will I let myself down? Will I let my dad down? You know, we've sacrificed a lot and been through a lot as I went through this program. Will I let my mom down? She was giving me her part-time job paychecks because I couldn't work at a certain point while in the program. So I just was like, will this happen for me, right? I did pass the first time, and I had to think about, okay, what helped me achieve that, right? I had very supportive friends who were with me on the hard days or just there to encourage me. I had study resources provided to me by our program. My dad provided me a place to live rent-free. So I could spend a lot of my time focused on studying and going to study groups with my cohort. And just me creating and following a study schedule. So my own inner discipline and structure. These were just some of the things that helped me to achieve this and be successful in this. And one thing I will never forget is that I was babysitting to help raise money or generate money to pay for my boards. And I needed like between $250 to $300 just to get over the last hump. And it was weeks before I would need to take this exam or register for it. In my last clinical rotation, some patients found out about it, and anonymously, I still to this day do not know who they were, but they donated the rest of that money. There were so many different things that contributed to me achieving that. The reason why this is an important prompt to walk through and do when you just don't have the belief like, okay, this can happen for me, I can break free and make progress in this area that I feel behind in, is because it's acknowledging a past win, which then gives your brain evidence, which then builds your confidence for future goals. The ability to be able to say, oh, this was something I achieved. Here's what helped me. Here's what I was facing. Here's obstacles that I overcame. And that gives you the evidence and increase your confidence that, well, if I did it in this scenario, in this season, okay, that means I can do something in this area of my life too. I can make progress in this area in my life. And you may be thinking, but what if there's not anything I've achieved? And I want to say, hey, your brain's just telling you that, but there's something you have achieved, whether it's at a job or in school, or maybe you went through something circumstantially, like leaving a toxic relationship or a toxic job, or maybe you were able to get your first apartment on your own, or maybe you were able to achieve your first big purchase. And how did you achieve that? What helped you be successful to do that? The goal of this prompt is just to identify when you achieve something and then breaking down what helped you to do it, whether it was internal resource or thing or an external person or thing. That's the goal of this. It's not to try to see how many milestones or wins you've had in a way that just is like, look how much success I've had. It's what helped me be able to achieve that. That way you're able to see, oh, here are the things I tapped into. Here are the resources I used. Here were the people that helped me. And maybe you're thinking, but what if that thing was totally different from this thing? What if the circumstances, the financial situation, the support, whatever it may be, what if it was different back then than what is now? And I just want to remind you that the goal isn't to say that these two seasons or areas of your life are the same, that it should be approached the same, that it will look the same. Heck, you may not even be the same person that you are now that you were when you did achieve this milestone. I know I'm not. But the goal is to highlight how you use your resourcefulness, your curiosity, your intelligence to make progress or achieve something in an area of your life, despite the obstacles that you faced, despite the doubt that came up, despite mistakes that you made, despite people not showing up for you, right? It's to allow for you to see that. And so when you couple that with what helped you to achieve it, it starts to build so much evidence of how can I apply this to this season, this area I feel behind in, this circumstance in my life. There's always evidence that you can take action, overcome obstacles, and be resourceful when you go and look back in your past. There's always evidence of that. And so you want to use that past evidence to increase your self-belief that you can make progress in an area that you feel behind in. When you feel that you don't have the belief that you can make progress in an area of your life, that you are feeling behind, go back to your past. Look to the evidence in your past and asking yourself what helped you achieve that. And in one-on-one mentorship, we're always creating both strategy and increasing your self-belief, not just doing one and not the other, because you need both. You'll know exactly how to work through your self-doubt when it comes up that would typically keep you self-sabotaging or remaining paralyzed and not moving forward and taking action. To learn more about one-on-one mentorship with me, you can schedule a consultation call via the link in the show notes. I do plan in the next episode to break down how mentorship works and 2 separate packages that I offer and which one would be right for you. So I'll cover that in the next episode. So be sure to come back and check that out. As always, thank you for listening in. You can please leave me a review, rate the show. And if you're on social media, I would love for you to share and tag me. It not only helps people to find the podcast who really need it, but it also encourages me to see that what I'm sharing is helping you in a direct way, since this isn't like social media where you can just leave a comment or direct message me. Thanks so much for listening into this week's episode, and I'll see you in the next one.